Hello boys and girls and non-binary friends, my name is Ola and welcome to this tea session. I don't know about you, but I love tea. Both types. In today's video, I wanted to investigate a claim that a week ago I didn't know exists. And the claim is women decompose like milk. They decompose like cow titty juice. Whilst men, they age like fine wine. So I don't know about you, but I got a little bit terrified when it turned out that my future is essentially decomposing like a bucket of cottage cheese on the beach in July. So, let me do my cherry-picking research. You just sit down, relax, and we'll go through this biological claim and we'll find out if it's actually evidence-based. Alright, a little bit of a disclaimer. I will be reviewing research studies from 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, couple of more modern pieces, which obviously means that it's not going to be very inclusive. It's going to be sometimes very old-fashioned, more like women do this, men do this, what does that mean? But if you're happy to stay and look at it with a pinch of salt, then be my guest and let's crack on.
What's the reason behind females aging quicker? Well, there are several reasons why it happens, all of which are scientific. Let's get into some of them. Stress. Women often face more stress in their lifetime than men. This is due to various challenges involving the workplace and family balance. A mother may oftentimes pass up on a significant job opportunity to take care of her children. Sacrificing a career to look after family members would stress anyone out. This may seem like nothing from the eyes of an outsider, but it leaves a significant impact on the mental health of women. Stress is directly related to aging. Women who are stressed often consume a poor diet. A malnourished body will always feel sick and tired. Stressed out people usually don't put much of an effort into exercise or skincare. This will cause early graying of the hair and wrinkled skin.
Good old stress, eh? Who doesn't get stressed? Definitely me, because I'm a lady. I get stressed about everything, like my hair, my nails, my lash on the left bends a little bit more than the lash on the right. What's that about? Who doesn't get stressed? Men. They're too strong. They live on a stress-free rainbow and they make out with unicorns, and that's the reason why they stress less. The end of the conclusion. No, but seriously, is there any evidence in this stress gender-related research? One problem that I have with stress-related research is that, especially the kind of older pieces, they use mainly one method, and that method is self-reporting. And obviously, I know that majority of you know about it, but self-reporting is, in my opinion, kind of like throwing a bunch of questionnaires at the participant and be like, be my guest, self-analyze yourself. And then, spoiler alert, that's problematic because humans are not known to be the best narrators and the most reliable storytellers. Look at How I Met Your Mother, look at most of our TV shows that we binge. So let's say, for example, you've got two people in that experiment. One of them is super stressed out. They're that close to literally a heart attack. But they don't like to express their emotions. They think that study is dumb anyway, so they say, yeah, I'm just chilling, it's fine. I've got control over everything. And then you've got another person who maybe not even experience that much of stress, you know, that physical response to stress. But they love drama and they love attention and they love exaggerating. They're not a reliable narrator. Nor is that other person. So then you've got skewed research, which is a very common problem with using questionnaires in a study as the only method. So yeah, oh, by the way, I'm not saying that, oh yeah, that's why women report more stress because they're drama queens and women are more drama. No, that's literally like two made up characters that do not exist. I'm just saying that obviously that method is problematic. We lie to ourselves, we lie to people around us, we are little liars. I will have to say that, you know, there is a bit of a gender difference in self-reporting about your emotions, especially in like older generations, and that is toxic masculinity and men up culture. You know, don't cry, don't talk about your emotions, just bottle everything in that invisible little drawer. So it doesn't really surprise me that there might be a bit of a gender difference in reporting stress. Actually, one study says, while both men and women recognize the impact stress can have on physical health, men appear to be somewhat more reluctant to believe that's having an impact on their own health. Likewise, men put less emphasis on the need to manage their stress than women do. Men see psychologists as less helpful and are less likely to employ strategies to make lifestyle and behavior changes. Yet men are more likely than women to report being diagnosed with the types of chronic physical illnesses that are often linked to high stress levels and unhealthy lifestyles and behaviors, signaling that there may be some important gender differences when it comes to stress management. Okay, so as you can see, the problem with the fact that men reported less stress was that they kind of lived in a denial. They didn't want to acknowledge they have stress and they didn't want to engage in any stress management strategies. Now, could this be due to men up culture? I think so. I think saying, you know, I'm stressed, this is overwhelming, this is too much, can make you feel really vulnerable. And obviously, that's very difficult to do when you've got this like fixed idea in your head that you have to be like an alpha top dog 24/7. So yeah, I think that could be the reason for that skewed numbers here. A bit of a trigger warning, but essentially, although things like yoga, therapy, meditation are becoming more popular in Western culture and are kind of, I'd say, number one method to deal with stress, there's still a lot of discrepancies between male and female ratio when it comes to participation in that kind of activities. 3 times as many men as women die by suicide. Men report lower levels of life satisfaction than women, according to the government's National Wellbeing Survey. Men are less likely to access psychological therapists than women. Only 36% of referrals to NHS talking therapies are for men. In addition, men are far more likely than women to go missing, sleep rough, become dependent on alcohol, and use drugs frequently. Not so much research based, but when I was actually going through the typical Google search, women, men, stress, research, I did see like a bit of a pattern of, you know, titles like so much social pressure on women to be everything. And when I mean everything is the Holy Trinity, you know, the hot wife, the great mother, and the girl boss CEO. And whilst it's true, there's definitely a social pressure to be all of these roles. Um, I think men have different pressures as well. And I just don't think that one overcomes another when it comes to that. And honestly, in the end of the day, it is up to you what kind of lifestyle you choose. So I know men who are single dads and they, you know, work 60 hours plus. And I also know women who do like a part-time job, they're child-free, they're chilling AF. So yeah, so I think even though I do acknowledge the social pressures, I don't think that's, I don't know, I don't think that relates to the gender stress dilemma. Maybe I'm wrong. Fight me. Okay, so bottom line is, I believe that stress is a very personal thing. I know, shocking, individual difference, a stronger argument than gender. But yeah, essentially every one of us knows someone who literally melts when it comes to even the smallest inconvenience in their lives versus someone who doesn't break a sweat no matter what. So I do not believe that women stress more, and thus I don't believe women age more when it comes to stress. I don't have to explain to any of you why stress is related to aging. You can just check out literally Barack Obama before he became a president and a few years later. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, good news, ladies. A little bit of less that cottage cheese. So I think this argument is debunked.
Pregnancy. Childbirth is not an easy thing. It's a difficult journey that poses a significant risk to the mental and physical health of a woman. Giving birth to a baby changes a woman's mind and body pretty significantly. A buddy once showed evidence that there were genetic changes in women post-childbirth. Analysis of these genetic markers showed that women had undergone aging at the cellular level much faster than their male counterparts.
I love how they go about, oh yeah, pregnancy costs you 11 years, ladies.
Some studies even claim that pregnancy takes away 11 years of a woman's youth.
And this woman is just like, all right, pal, I mean, some did. Happy days. But yeah, anyway, yeah, they finally used some research in the study. Great. And it's based on measuring telomeres. What are telomeres?
Telomeres are DNA protein structures that form protective caps at the end of eukaryotic chromosomes. They constitute the safeguards of chromosome degradation and are responsible for maintaining genomic integrity.
And what do they have to do with aging?
Telomeres get shorter each time a cell copies itself, but the important DNA stays intact. Eventually, telomeres get too short to do their job, causing our cells to age and stop functioning properly. Therefore, telomeres act as the aging clock in every cell.
Okay, so first of all the articles and studies are linked below. But this one particular study that they mentioned in the video, it has a pretty decent sample of 2,000 American women between age of 20 and 44. And what they discovered in that sample was a pattern. And the pattern is essentially women who gave birth had shorter telomeres than women who didn't give birth. And the difference was 4.2%, which, I mean, most of us are like, cool, what does that mean? So this is where the scary Daily Mailish title comes from, you know, one kid costs you 11 years of your life. Because yeah, 4.2% apparently equals to around 11 years of cellular aging. And bit of a depressing thing based on that research. I'm not a telomere expert, so correct me. But essentially, they pointed out that when they look at smokers or very obese individuals, their telomeres are still longer than like a healthy woman who gave birth. So yeah, scary stuff, but bear with me. I promise it gets better. Critique time. So there's actually quite a few critiques of that study, just like every other study in the world. But one that spoke to me the most was about, you know, actually pointing out the differences between an average Western American woman who goes through pregnancy and child rearing versus maybe different cultures. So that would be a lack of that big community that can help you raise a baby. Most of the times we see women in a Western culture kind of going through it on their own, maybe having obviously their partner, maybe some parents nearby, not always the case, which also results in, you know, lack of sleep, lack of, well, like I said, social support, and loads of stress. And let's be honest, unless you can afford like an army of nannies, it's going to be challenging. It definitely is going to impact you in a severe way. Happy motherhood. So there's another study that kind of compares the differences. Well, not directly, but you can compare them one next to another one. So that study, it looks into indigenous women in Guatemala, and they've got a sample, smaller one, 75 women, but they do measure telomeres twice within like a 13-year period. And essentially what they found is that the results completely flipped. So now women who gave birth had longer telomeres, and then women who didn't give birth had shorter telomeres. And the researchers argue that this is because in that specific culture, everyone helps out with a baby. It's not only the small family, it's this entire tribe. So, bottom line is, researchers do admit that research in women, aging and pregnancy is ironically in infancy stage. So we need more data, more research. Shocking. But I think a different conclusion is formed aside of the aging women, men, milk debacle. Social support is really important. If we had to kind of look at those two studies like black and white, and just focus on dry results, it can really make you think that your cellular aging might be impacted by the amount of actual support you get. Also, just on the different topic, I don't agree with this argument, women age faster than men because they go through pregnancy. First of all, we now know that it's a pretty mixed bag when it comes to a final outcome with that. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. And second of all, like, a child-free movement is getting so big nowadays. It's literally, I don't know, it's just so normal for people to not decide to be mothers, or maybe not biological mothers, maybe adopt, etc. So I do think it's a bit of a sweeping generalization, which, I mean, look at that video, of course it would be. But yeah, this argument is debunked.
Men have thicker skin. Of course, I'm being literal here. Skin is the largest organ in the human body. It performs so many different functions. However, did you know that men and women have a difference in their skin quality? It's a known fact that men have thicker skin than women. This causes them to get fewer lines and wrinkles.
They do have a thicker skin. Bastards. It's around 20 to 25% thicker, which honestly, I have no idea if it's a lot, if it's like groundbreaking, or if it's like not at all. Like, I can't even find any kind of skin measurement online. No, not skin measurement, but I don't know. I struggled to find the answer whether 20% of increased thickness in skin, how much does it actually slow aging in a big picture. So if you are like a skin thickness expert, let me know, because it really bothers me. But yeah, they've got thicker skin, which means a bit more collagen production. And also, on average, they've got higher sebum level. Think oily skin, think slower aging, but also think uncontrollable shine. So, yeah. However, it's not that simple as you'd think it is. So there's this systematic review from 2019, which is quite modern, although it does review older and more recent pieces. And it's literally called Male versus Female Skin, What Dermatologists and Cosmetologists Should Know.
So I'll give a quick glance at some of the results, but I would like to invite you to read this study and make your own conclusions. Out of 1,070 studies, only 57 met the criteria for the systematic review. The main findings are: skin elasticity is not related to gender, sebum levels are more significant in men, skin thickness is more significant in men, and skin pigmentation is more significant in men. Skin pH is more significant in women. Higher skin pH is related to anti-aging properties. Facial wrinkles are significantly more prominent in men, and facial sagging is more prominent in men as well.
Yeah, there seems to be a bit of an advantage with skin thickness. So I will go ahead and give a not debunked green flag, white flag for this. Anyway, yes, this argument seems to be semi-legit because, like we saw in the systematic review, there's just a bit more going on. In some areas, women have an advantage. In some areas, men do. But, fair. We'll just go ahead with that and we'll just say legit. Yeah, that's what we're going to say.
Menopause. Menopause is a significant stage in a woman's life. It signifies the end of their reproductive years. Menopause is associated with significant decline in hormones like estrogen and progesterone. These hormones play a role in preventing the aging of women. Recent studies suggest that menopause may be associated with acceleration of aging.
Okay, so one argument from that video that unfortunately is the most legit is, spoiler alert, the biggest culprit in gender differences in aging is menopause.
You know what? Menopause is hell.
It is. Is it really?
Menopause is a dark hole. Okay, that's what menopause is. And that's where I'm at right now.
Oh.
So I either will love my husband today or kill him today.
Oh, no.
I know, right? Personally, I thought once you hit menopause, it's like, cool, just chill, have a cup of tea, no more crazy. I mean, you're crazy, I don't know, I'm not crazy. But anyway, very simple explanation. I don't know if you knew, but men produce testosterone. Women produce estrogen. Both of them have anti-aging properties. However, as we know, when women hit menopause, estrogen levels drop. And one study explains this in kind of cellular aging way.
On average, they found that menopause speeds up cellular aging by 6%. This means that if two women are 50 years old, but one woman went through menopause at age 42 and the other went through menopause at age 50, the woman who went through menopause at 42 would actually be a year older, biologically, than the other woman.
So yeah, basically it's like a vicious cycle. Actually, no, it's just literal. Anyway, so estrogen decreases, it impacts collagen production, and the collagen impacts, the skin, the hair, the entire shebang, nails as well. But yeah, anyway, you can go through hormone replacement therapy, but it does come with risks, unfortunately, and the risks are pretty big. So you can develop blood clots in like your lungs and your legs, and also it really does increase the risk of breast cancer, which is the same risk with contraceptive pills, but now we've got so many options, we don't have to face those risks with contraceptive pills. So yeah, please, can we find like a better therapy? I'm really hoping that in 5 or 10 years, this is not going to be an issue. Okay, so this is only anecdotal, but I had to find it to come to peace with the menopause journey that I didn't even start. How dramatic am I? Am I the person that I described at the beginning of the video, the drama one? Probably. But anyway, yeah, so I found a bit of a pattern. Objectively, I wasn't biased in looking for those comments. It seemed to be a bit of a trend where women were saying, yeah, it's pretty hard to go through menopause, but at the same time, after a while, you do kind of stabilize and, your mood is just a bit more smoother and balanced, and you're in harmony with yourself, and you just don't care that much about stuff. I think my favorite comment that kind of summarizes that feeling is this one.
I'm 52. The last several years have been especially awesome and absolutely liberating. I've no idea if it's no fucks to give to hormones, but my confidence is through the roof and I'm completely happy with who I am. I've cultivated a wonderful circle of lifelong friends, all of whom I'm truly grateful to have in my life. I'm lucky to have kind, caring, and supportive family, immediate and extended.
And finally, some conclusions. There's quite a few if you ask me. So first one's pretty obvious. Okay, well, who ages faster, blah, blah, blah. Personally, I think we're pretty equal in this race for sweet, sweet death / aging. Women do speed up when it comes to menopause, but then again, we live longer, so I don't know. We live longer and we are wrinklier. Interesting combo. Second all, we really do need better options for struggles with menopause, better than hormonal replacement therapy. And fingers crossed that there's actually some interesting discoveries within that area, or at least there will be within, I don't know, within today or tomorrow. I want them now. And third of all, shocking, you need loads of support when you decide to have a baby. So yeah, I guess when it comes to childbearing, put that high individualism on the side and make sure you've got more support than just yourself. I know this is such a wishy-washy advice. Make sure you've got support, like everyone wants support. But yeah, here you go. And also, please don't force their support as well. I think it's just me being traumatized by forced babysitting when I was younger. Just make sure that support is willingly agreeing to support you. Sorry. And then I think this is the fourth conclusion. I'm so bad in counting. The fourth conclusion is wear sunscreen at all times. I mean, I know this has not been discussed in the video, but I think it's an always good tip. I wish I knew that when I was like 5 years old, or 10, or even 20. I started wearing it really late. Ugh. And I guess that's it, really. I guess that's it with my conclusions. I don't know if that answered your question. Well, clearly we don't decompose like milk. Human bodies don't decompose like milk. So if anyone tells you that, spill a tea on their head. So if you like the video, great. I'll see you soon then. Bye.